The Full House K-drama is about an aspiring scriptwriter who is tricked into going on a trip to China, and when she comes back, she finds out that her house is sold to none other than the actor that she met on the plane. Things happen and they're forced to enter into a contract marriage. And we kind of see the story go on from there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden. Full House was made in 2024, and it was one of the dramas that I watched when I started getting into K-dramas. And I've seen this show maybe twice already. Two times or three times already. But it was like in 2013, 2014, around that time frame. So it's been a while since I saw it. But now I saw it on Viki Rakuten, so I'm giving it another try. I remember liking it. That's why I saw it so many times, So I want to come back and refresh my memory and kind of watch it again. One thing, you're noticing is how they used to film TV shows back then. So all the different K-dramas, if you're comparing back then to now, you could totally see a difference in the way it's being filmed. Also, I remember something from back then. You can see what they were wearing is different. Style back then is different to style now. The way they used to kiss back then is definitely different from what they do now. And based on episode 1, they were pretty much playing Oh Danny Boy in instrumental form, and I thought that was funny. Like, if you know Oh Danny Boy, it's a pretty popular song, so you could hear it even if it's instrumental. But I thought it was funny that Oh Danny Boy was playing in this K-drama. All right, so let's get into what this drama is about. So Ji-yoon, she's the main lead. She has two friends who find out that they're pregnant. She has two friends. They're a couple. The female finds out that she's pregnant. So they don't have any money. So they decided to come up with this plan to send her to China. So they told her, it's an all expense trip. And, that airfare is paid for. The hotel is paid for. Pretty much everything is paid for, right? So she's a little hesitant about it. She's like, I don't trust it. Girl, you should have went with your instincts, because what the hell? So she ends up going on this trip, right? And when she gets there was no one to pick her up. She managed to take a taxi, and the taxi driver, I'm pretty sure he knew she wasn't from around here. So he probably took the long way, because the fare was really high and she didn't have cash in her hand, a lot of cash in her hand. The only cash she had was the cash that her friend gave her before she got on the plane. So when she gets to the hotel, she finds out that she doesn't have a reservation. I mean, that should have been, second. So she still makes, she still books a room, and then, she can't pay for it. She has to pay for it when she checks out, right? But she can't pay for it because she doesn't have any money. And apparently she only had a ticket to go to China. She didn't have a ticket to get back. So I think the friends told her that, oh, she would meet with the travel advisor, and the travel advisor would help her get on her way back, and would pay for the room as well. She gets back home, and when she gets home, she notices that her house is empty. Empty. They took all the furniture out. And then she also finds out that they sold the house while she was in China. And she goes to the police station. And I guess because she saw a mom, they left her a note saying that they were pregnant and that they're very sorry, and that's the only thing they could do. So she sees a mom in the police station, and suddenly I'm guessing she felt sorry for them, and she didn't report what they did. And I'm like, what kind of friends? I don't know if I was this angry when I watched it the previous 2 times, but I'm like, what kind of friends sends their friend to another country and then sells their house, sells the friend's house from under? I'm like, how do they even do that? And the guy used to work at the bank that she had her money in, and they took all the money out of her account. I'm like, how do they even do that? It just doesn't make sense. And I'm guessing the girl's, her name is Hee Jin. Her parents probably didn't approve of him. So they disowned her, because when she went to go visit the girl's house, her father was like, she doesn't exist for me. And her father looks like he has money. And you tell me you take all her stuff just like that, and she's your friend? I don't know what kind of friendship this is. I would cut them off. Like, after beating them up, I'd cut them off. But now let's go into Young Jae, which is the male lead. And pretty much he's an actor, but he keeps having all these scandals happening. This is only based on episode 1, and we'll be doing, a reaction / review for episodes 1 and 2. But with him, they met on the airplane, on the flight to China, and they were sitting next to each other. So what ended up happening is she ate too much on the plane. She ended up throwing up on him. And with that, he took off his shirt because he didn't want the shirt anymore, and he left the shirt behind. But she, after she fell asleep, she woke up, she saw his shirt was there, but he wasn't there. So she took it, she cleaned it in her hotel room, and she brought it back to him. When she realized that she needed money, she's very resourceful, and she can think on the spot, right? So she was like, let me return it to him and ask him for some money. She tried and tried, and it didn't really work. He didn't want anything to do with her. But when she mentioned his friend, then he entertained the idea. And she started talking about, how her and the friend know each other, for a while. And he believed her, so he gave her money. That's how she was able to get back home. Now, when she gets back home, is when she finds everything out, and he is on the other hand, he is interested, or should I say obsessed, with this girl. Her name is Wee Young. Wee Won. And she doesn't like him. She doesn't like him. She likes Min-yuk. Min-yuk is the friend that Ji-yoon was like, she knows him for the longest, and he gave her the money. So Young Jae wanted to go out with Wee Won, and she invited Min-yuk, right, to the dinner. So he's thinking, because Ji-yoon knows Min-yuk, and that they had a past, quote past, because she lied about that. They had a past. He would invite her to go to dinner too. Well, he didn't really invite her. He more like told her to come. Yeah, like kind of just took her, went and bought her a dress and told her to come. Kind of like to get in the middle of everything so he can focus more on Haiwan, right? And things did not go as planned. And there was a lot of kind of like jealousy going on the table. Haiwan, she's obsessed with Min-yuk, but you don't really see that he's interested in her that well. And Young Jae, he's the one that's obsessed with Haiwan, and she's not even giving him the time of day. So towards the end of episode 1, she finds out that the person who bought her house is Young Jae. So Ji-yoon finds out that Young Jae is now the new owner of her house. And he tried so hard to like, kick her out and have her go away, but she kept coming back, and she was sleeping outside. And even though it's summertime, she still caught a cold. And he acts like, Young Jae acts like he doesn't care. I mean, I don't know if it's caring or he claims that he's curious, but when he saw that she had a fever, he brought her inside and like took care of her, put the wet towel, the hot towel on her head, made her food, and so on. And like he took care of her. And he was like, once she got better, he was like, where are you gonna go? He gave her some money to go find a new place, but she didn't want it. And she kind of like stormed out because she felt offended with how he gave her the money. So she stormed out and she went to the bus stop. He kind of followed her, making sure like she was okay. And then when he noticed that she didn't get on the bus, he came back and told her, what about the previous money that you took from me? The money that she took in order to get back to Korea from China. So he's like, when are you going to give me that? And she kind of had like that puppy dog face. So he brought her back to, like, they went back to the house. And right now he's kind of using her as, she's paying off the debt by working in the house. So making him breakfast, cleaning up the house, and all of that other stuff. But let's kind of reiterate what situation she's in. So let's pretend that this was in like a week time span, right? So last week she was enjoying her father's house. So she said this is the house that her father built and designed himself, right? And it's a beautiful house. It's a big house, okay, with glass windows, and it has a nice view. Okay, it's such a nice house that him, an actor with money, bought it, right? So imagine a week ago, she was enjoying this house as her house. Now she's over here waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to make breakfast for him and then cleaning the house every day, pretty much being a housekeeper in her own house, technically. And, you know, when he called the realtor said the paperwork on their end was fine. So her friends pretty much switched the ownership of her house without her knowing. I don't even know how that's even possible, but I guess it's possible. Switched the ownership, and that's how they were able to sell her house. She caught up with the two of them at the doctor's office and kind of like was running after them. And she caught up with the guy and pretty much started beating him up. I mean, at the time, that's all she could do. But, you know, then the girl faked being hurt with her baby. So then, even in that moment, she tried to help them, get them a taxi to go to the doctor. And that's when she realized, like, hey, they were faking it to try and get away. And I'm like, she's just, falling for it again. So I don't know. I just wish. I mean, it's only episode 2, so we'll find out if she even gets back at them. And we also find out that he opened a credit card under her name. Like, that's crazy. The amount of stuff they did to this girl, I'm just like, that would be, if someone did that to me, that would be like, you're going to jail and we're not friends anymore, because what the hell? Young Jae, Hee-won, and Minhyuk. I guess most people would say they have a triangle going on, but it's not really a triangle. It's more like a line right now, especially in episode 2, right? So Young Jae likes he won, but she doesn't like him back, right? And he won likes Minhyuk, and he doesn't really like her back, because if he paid attention to that girl in the bar while they were together, he's not interested in her. And when she got up and went to the bathroom, he left her a note saying something came up. The girl was missing as well, so I'm pretty sure he left her to go back home or wherever with the other chick. So Minhyuk doesn't like Haewon. So this is like a straight line, okay, going on. Young Jae was gonna propose to the girl because, she said she was leaving to go to New York. And the only reason she wanted to go to New York was because Minhyuk mentioned that he was going to be in New York. So she wanted to go study abroad. And Young Jae didn't want her to, so he was going to propose to her. So he rented out this restaurant, and everyone in the restaurant was looking forward to who he was going to propose. So I guess somebody talked, and this started yet another scandal about him, that he has a secret engagement. At the lunch party, Ji-yoon and Min-hyuk were talking to each other, and Haiwan was like getting jealous. So when Ji-yoon, walked away, she started yelling at Min-hyuk and said, do you want me to go off? Why do you keep treating me like this? And, he's like, I've always seen you like a sister. I don't understand why you're acting this way. And what about, young Jay? Like, he likes you. What are you going to do about that situation? He's liked you for a long time. And she's like, oh, is it because of young Jay that you're not liking me? That you don't want to pursue this? So then she's walked towards young Jay and very loudly, calls him out and said, do you love me? Are you attracted to me, dude? And then, him not wanting to reveal anything, he says, I love you, and then kiss Ji-yoon. And that's pretty much how it ended. And this wraps up our journey on The Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on The Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.